All right, here with us now, France's best-known public intellectual writer and journalist, Bernard-Henri Lévy. Did I get that right? Many credit him for being the catalyst for world intervention in Libya. Welcome to the show. It's good to have you with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
I want to read from your latest column, The Daily Beast, Obama, Syria, Putin, the G20, and a week's wait. And you say in part this: care must be taken to ensure that this interval for discussion and reflection ultimately bears fruit rather than turning against the American and French presidents. Care must be taken to avoid allowing the Syrian regime and its allies to use the delay to scatter their guns and bury their command centers, to intensify their brainwashing efforts and attempt to muddle matters still further. Care must be taken because there is one ally of Assad's who will benefit in the coming days from an unexpected forum in which to plead the cause of the regime. That ally is Vladimir Putin. How can care be taken in a situation like this?
First of all, I hope that President Obama, who was so wise by taking these days in order to build up his coalition and his majority, I hope he comes to G20 with biscuits. I hope that when he will be in front of Vladimir Putin, who is a sort of state hooligan, he will know how to speak to him. I hope that occasion will not be given to Putin to build an informal coalition with the BRICS, Brazil, India, and so on. This is the point. I'm sure that President Obama will be strong enough to prevent all these diversion operations which Vladimir Putin will try.
We have Catty Kay from the BBC with us. Catty, jump in.
Bernard, the French National Assembly, as you know, of course, is debating a strike against Syria. The president in France doesn't actually need a vote, but President Hollande has said that if the US Congress votes no on a resolution for President Obama, then France won't strike. If France believes it's the right thing to do to strike Syria, why are they going to be controlled by what the US Congress does?
Because France is a great country, but not great enough to substitute to America. I think France would be... But I cannot imagine that the Congress says no. After the great job which is done, and we just heard that, the great job showing the proofs, demonstrating that the real radical Islamist danger is with Bashar al-Assad. Because at the end of the day, Bashar al-Assad means what? Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas, which is the three pillars of radical Islam. So all this is being said in these hours to the Congress. And there will not be no. And then François Hollande will come along with Barack Obama and we'll go back to all good times of French, and it is the only good news of these days, the French-American alliance. As in the time of our two revolutions, American Revolution, French Revolution, I prefer this time. I remember the time of George W. Bush, when France was demonized by the administration. I like this France-US link, which is reaffirmed today. I like this.
I agree with you that the votes will be there in Congress, but let me ask you what your best-case scenario is after a strike. What happens realistically after an American strike in Syria that would be good?
Yes, what will happen, nobody knows, of course. The only thing that we know is that since 2 years and a half, there is a race between Western world and radical Islam in order to know who will topple the dictator, who will topple Assad. If the West topples Assad, or if the West contributes to that, then the pro-West inside the rebellion will take the lead. If the West does not do anything, washes his hands of the flesh and blood of the children of Syria gassed, then the radical Islamists, Al-Qaeda and so on, will take credit of the fall of the dictator. This is the question. Who will have the... Bashar al-Assad will fall. Who will have the credit? Barack Obama and François Hollande on one side, or Al-Qaeda and so on the other side? This is the political question. if there is a credit for Obama, you will see how inside the democratic, the Free Syria Council, the pro-West will take the lead and gain some ground.
So we have Bernard-Henri Lévy. Thank you very much for being on. You know, he is France's best-known public intellectual.
And my English is pitiful, I'm sorry.
It's very good English.
No, it's terrible.
We were nervous thinking, you know, the
worst.
Goodness, what are we going to... And the first thing he says to me?
Russell Brand.
Yeah.
Russell Brand, of course.
Iconic.
This show has become famous worldwide because of your tête-à-tête, Mika, with Russell Brand. Of course, when he told you that you had the hair of Princess Diana, I saw this show becoming iconic all over the world.
Iconic.
That's a fact.
Iconic.
Every continent.
I like to think of that experience with you and Russell Brand as a tête-à-tête.
A tête-à-tête.
That's a very...
There was a moment of tête-à-tête, you know.
That's a very good term.
There was a moment when he put the feet like this, etc. And then there was a tête-à-tête with Mika, which was the hot moment of the show.
Oh my God.
It could be the basis of a Broadway show, couldn't it?
It could be, but you both have to work a little more. But it could be the basis, the first line.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you say there was a hot moment?
Okay.
Did you say hot?
It was somewhat hot.
Oh,
It began to be.
All right.
I'm sorry, I'm French.
Yes, you are. Coming up.
Too
Thank you.
French.